Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. I'm Brittany, and today's message is going to be titled 5 Signs You Are Close to Your Breakthrough, okay? So I'm just going to get right into the message. So number 1 is going to be isolation. God always isolates his chosen ones. If God gives you a dream or a vision or the desire of your heart, and then suddenly people just begin to leave you, like friends that you used to talk to, they are becoming like a distant memory. Like God is cutting off certain relationships, and God is, pulling people away from certain jobs and certain people and certain places. And then you find yourself, the closer you're getting to God, the lonelier you may even feel. But God is saying you need isolation for where I am taking you, because I have to prune you in the secret place before you go where you're going, so that you can be prepared. Everybody's not going to be able to go. Everybody's not going to even be happy the place that God is sending you. So God puts you in a place of isolation, which is cutoff season, which you may feel like, God, with what I have going on, the things that I have been through, the last thing I want to do is be lonely. But God is saying you need this for the shaping. You need to be just me and you for a season. So where I'm telling you to go, where I am taking you, you will be prepared. So isolation is a sign that your breakthrough is close. Okay, you're going to begin to cut off some people that can't go, some people that's not going to be too interested in seeing you get to the promised land or get to working in purpose. They're going to be let go in your isolation season. Everybody have to go through, and it's lonely and it don't feel good, and you're pruning. But especially if you're calling to a place of leadership, leaders don't typically run in packs. He's calling you to a sense of independence. Then you're going to be you're going to have to go through an isolation stage where it's just you and God. Okay. The number two is going to be hard situations. Okay. Especially after God shows you a dream. Now we know that even with Job, even with Joseph, and I love using their situations, okay, because they both went through 2 levels of extreme before they were able to get to breakthrough, right? So we know that with Job, his whole life was hard before he was blessed and crowned, okay? We know that Joseph went through a whole different type of tragedy, where his family turned on him, he had to go to prison, he was sold into slavery, and all of these things, because the hard situation or the hard times is letting you know, just as it was then, when you go through hard times, these are for shaping and pruning you for where it is that God is taking you. You're going to need tough skin. You're going to need to be able to say, hey, I went through something and now I appreciate where I am now. That is for the shaping. That is for character development. That is a must for a place of leadership. Okay. Number 3 is going to be, there is a season where people will forget you. Let's just talk about Joseph, right? Joseph prophesied to the cupbearer and the baker, and the cupbearer was to go and tell the king about Joseph. But there was a season where Joseph was forgot about. That was all God's working. That didn't have anything. I don't feel like it was no ill will, and it was no ill intent. According to the cupbearer, when it was time for the cupbearer to mention the Joseph to the king, it came so. He was able to do that. But it had to happen within God's timing. It was not Joseph's timing. So there was a time where Joseph was actually forgot about. And this is a silent season. So silence and isolation together it is a very daunting thing, because it can make you feel like, okay, I don't have anyone that I really am close with anymore. I don't have anybody that I can really form those communication with. I can tell them like what I'm doing and what I'm going through, because God is closing so many doors. But then at the same time, like, it feels like I'm being overlooked by everybody. It feels like I'm here. I'm watching everybody do their thing. I'm watching everybody, go forth in purpose. I'm watching it be everybody's turn. And now there is a season of silence for myself. This is necessary for the breakthrough. Okay. That's number 3. So you go through a point in life where life is it's feeling kind of bland. Like, you ain't doing the worst, but you're not doing the worst. You're not doing the worst, but you're not doing the best either. You're just kind of like stuck in a limbo, kind of like a silent season, that season is supposed to be used to strengthen your relationship with God, to see what it is that he has for you, what direction it is that God wants you to walk in. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4 is the enemy will attack you. So now there's isolation, hard situations, being forgot about. And while you're going through this, the enemy has access to attack you just a little bit. This is for strengthening. This is for character development as well. Okay. We know that with Job, the angels and the Lord was able to tell, Job that, no, the Lord was able to tell Job that, Satan, you can test Job, but you can't take him out, right? Don't lay a hand on the hair of his head. But Job can go through the testing, and Job's testing was much. Like, a lot of us wouldn't be able to fathom and go through losing your children, losing everything, losing your health, because then it forced Job to be in a state of groaning and a state of almost questioning and doubting, questioning and doubting God. Because it's like, God, why me? Why am I in this position? But God, we know that God, when it was time for God to bless Job, he got back tenfold. He got back tenfold more than what he had before. But I just feel like it was such a drastic thing, but it's something that we all have to go through. We have to be able to take these things and apply them to our life. So isolation. Now we're at hard situations, being forgot about. Now the enemy will attack you a little bit. This is for character development. This is so you can bring somebody else out and say, hey, I've been through that same thing. A lot of this time, this stuff don't even be for us. It's like, hey, I've been isolated before. I really don't have no friends. And then God connects you with your soul tribe. But you have to go through that isolation first so you can appreciate the people that appreciate you. Okay. You have to go through the hard situation to see your brother or sister say, hey, I've already been through that. Let me tell you what to do so you don't have to go down the same road that I went through. A lot of this stuff is not for us. Okay. You go through a season of being overlooked, and then you see somebody that's the underdog coming behind you, and you can say, hey, I've already been through that thing where I'm being overlooked. Just keep grinding, keep your head down, keep doing what it is that God is calling you to do, because in due season, it's going to be your time, and God's going to shine a light on you, okay? Then the enemy will attack you, and you have to be able to use that too and say, hey, I've been through that. Hey, the enemy has turned me every way but loose. And I am one of those people that like to talk about. That's why I do my Testimony Tuesdays, because I like to talk about some of the things that I went through so I can bring somebody else out. You don't have to go through the same thing that I went through. I went through that so I can pull somebody else out, okay? And then the 5th thing is going to be, you begin to lose faith. You start to give up. It's like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. But you have to think about all the elements. You're going through isolation, hard situations, being forgot about, or kind of bland life where you're kind of like blending off into the background. You're going through the enemy attacking you. And now it's like, if you have to experience this all at once, it can make you lose faith. Like Job began to lose faith. Job began to say, he was asking God, why me? Like, why you doing this? Maybe my friends that are taunting me and my friends that are gossiping about me, maybe they right. Maybe God don't care about me. Maybe God's not going to do it for me. So you begin to lose hope, or you begin to lose faith right before the breakthrough is coming. That is a sign that the breakthrough is coming. It's like, God, I am at the end of myself. I need you to deliver me. That is a sign that you are right on the edge of a breakthrough. And this is the breaking point for a lot of people. And this is just a sign that God has more for you. You are being shaped for more, okay? Especially when you know you haven't done anything to deserve this. You haven't did anything but stay on the side of the Lord. You have done anything but try to walk with God and try to live a straight and narrow life. Okay, God is saying, I'm pruning you for where I am taking you. For where I am taking you, you're going to have been through something, especially if I am taking you to be a leader, especially if I am taking you to be in charge, especially if I am calling you to a territory where you will be in charge of that territory. You're going to be in charge of that land. You have to go through the shaping. I cannot put nobody up there, says the Lord, that's going to be weak. I cannot put nobody up there that ain't been through nothing, because the minute something don't go right in that relationship, the minute something don't go right in that ministry, the minute something don't go right in that job, the minute something does not go right with where I'm taking you, if you had not been through the shaping, you will fold. You will fold, and you will be ready to forfeit the promise. You have to go through the shaping, because with the shaping comes strength. And with the strength come what you need to go to the next level, okay? So these are the 5 signs that you are close to your breakthrough. And this is things that you have to go through, especially if you have a large purpose, okay? So until the next video, y'all, I hope you enjoyed. Bye for now.